freestyle team. One of the things that makes freestyling so popular is the challenge of constantly learning new tricks. It seems to really keep the sport fresh. This is a teaching video that presents the fundamentals you need to really enjoy freestyling. But before we meet our instructors, Todd and Eric Evans, let's let the Evans Brothers freestyle team finish what they've started. Bring it on, guys. Todd Evans is a longtime BMX racer who made the transition to freestyling. Todd competes in flatland and ramp competition and constantly entertains thousands with the Evans Brothers freestyle team. As co-owner of the Evans Brothers Bike Shop, he has mastered the business and pleasures of freestyling. Todd always has time to teach a kid a quick trick, and his best student without question is his little brother, Eric. Eric Evans is the sport's youngest factory-sponsored rider. You could see Eric at the Nationals riding his own signature 16-inch bike. This little 9-year-old regularly romps the 13-year-old expert class. Eric Evans is living proof that you're never too young to freestyle, which is what this video is all about. Serious freestyling calls for special equipment. You can't thrash with flash without a good bike. A good place to start is with bike size. Most freestyle bikes have 20-inch wheels. Smaller riders should use smaller handlebars and a straight C-post. Larger riders should use larger handlebars and a laid-back seat post. The main difference in the size of freestyle bikes is in their lengths. Long bikes are better for ramps. They give you more control. A short bike is easier to maneuver on the ground. As a rider gets more experience, he can adjust all of these variables to fit his style of riding. If you really want to get serious about freestyling, there are several accessories you can't live without. Pegs or platforms mounted on or near the front and rear axles are very important to flatland riding. Pegs allow you to step all around your bike. Hopping on the pegs allows you to keep your balance and helps you move smoothly from one trick to the next during combination moves. Pegs and platforms perform the same function. Platforms provide a larger surface to stand on. Mainly it's a matter of personal preference. Pegs and platforms can get in the way when you're riding ramps, especially during a fall. It's a good idea to take them off for ramps. Another important accessory for flatland riding is a rotor system. Some tricks require spinning the handlebars around. The rotor system keeps the brake cable from wrapping around the stem. It uses a special coupling that separates the brake cable so that the handlebars spin freely. You're missing out on some rad tricks without a rotor system. The other major freestyle accessory is handbrakes or caliper brakes. It's really hard to freestyle without separate front and rear brakes. Some tricks, like the squeaker, won't work without stopping the front wheel first. A trick like the cherry picker concentrates on the rear braking. At this point, it might be valuable to discuss the differences between rims and mags. Rims are very lightweight, real easy to whip your bike around. Mags are much stronger. A beginner might consider learning tricks on mags and changing over to rims later for the lighter wheels. Once again, after some experience, you can choose whatever works best for your riding style. Personal preference is important in choosing any accessory. Manufacturers modify even basic accessories, so you need to evaluate your own skills and goals and do what's best for you. Any good freestyle specialty shop can help you make those decisions. A good equipment list is not complete without safety gear. You should always wear your knee and elbow pads. It's real easy to forget them, but a few good skinned knees and bruises can make a believer out of anyone. Leathers can also help with scrapes, but even if you can't afford leathers, at least wear pads. A helmet is also something that every rider should have. The value of a helmet for ramps is obvious. A brain bucket might not seem so important for flat landing, but it is. There are plenty of ways to turn out the lights on the ground too. Head injuries are too serious to gamble with. Always wear a helmet. Gloves can keep fingers from being jammed or smashed when riding ramps. They also can keep you from buffing your paws when riding flatland too. High-top tennis shoes are a good idea for beginners. They offer good support and cut down on ankle busting. Someday you might find yourself close to the edge, and when you do, you'll be glad you wore safety gear. One last thing. The best safety tip anyone can give is to stay away from drugs. Freestyling can keep you busy and out of a lot of trouble. Drugs are for losers, and freestylers are winners. Now it's time to learn some basic freestyling as Todd and Eric Evans demonstrate some great step-by-step thrashing. Relax while we talk you through it. Okay, Todd, on this first trick, we got you Bayside doing Boomerankle Hops.
Yeah, this is a super fun trick. Might get a little dizzy, though. This is a combination move. I'm taking two tricks and putting them into one.
Okay, take us through it, step by step.
Okay, here I'm standing on the left side of my bike. With my right leg, it's free to move all the way around the side of the bike, land on the pedal, reach back around, land on your pegs.
All right, pedal placement's pretty important.
Yes, it is, for coming back and pulling out of the trick. Right now, you see me hopping on my front pegs, keeping my balance as many times as it takes. And eventually, I wind back around, jump to the pedals, and ride away.
All right, are you on full lock on the brakes?
Right, I'm grabbing both brakes right now.
Okay, if I understand this right, you kick up that right foot to get momentum and swing your body on around, as we can see here. Like we said, pedal placement's important because you do catch that pedal on the way around, and regaining your balance on those front pegs. Back on your pedals. Styling Bayside, that's Todd Evans. Once more in regular motion. Looking sharp. Is this a difficult trick, Eric?
Not really.
So most every average rider can pull it off.
Yeah.
Pretty neat looking, doesn't look too complicated. Run us through it.
Well, first I'll start off on the back pegs, and then I do an endo, and I grab the seat and start pushing the tire. And whenever I push the tire, it gives me momentum for the tight circles, and I wait for the pedals to come and I ride out.
Okay, looking pretty sharp, my man. Let's go through it in slow-mo one more time. I can see here that you bear down on those front brakes. You don't necessarily need to go into an endo, do you?
No.
All right. I see you grab the front of the seat and start kicking that rear wheel. Are you kicking that real hard?
You don't really have to, but it helps a little.
All right, waiting for those pedals, and away you go. One more time in regular motion. Hey, looking pretty sharp. Hope you don't get too dizzy. We're back with Todd for a third trick, and it's a
Squeaker Peg Pickers.
All right, is this for the novice or the expert?
This is definitely an expert trick.
Okay, styling combination move. Run us through it.
Okay, here's the squeaker part of the trick right here coming up. You place your foot on the rear of the tire. Start walking it back till you feel confident that you've got your balance. Put your foot on the rear peg, swing your other leg up and over, grab your forks, and you're hopping. Start hopping as many times as it takes, or throw in some flashy stuff with your hands. Okay, now to pull out of the trick, go reach up and grab the bars. Grab your back brakes, flip it out from underneath you, land on your pedals, and ride away.
I noticed on that trick you use a lot of brakes.
Sure do. You use all your brake.
Well, you're going up into the endo, you use...
The front brake.
Oh, and on the rear?
You use both your brakes, and then you stand on your coaster brake.
Okay. Looking styling. Let's see it one more time in regular motion. Once again, we're going to want to remind everybody that this is an upper level trick.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, Hurricane, let's take a look at your front wheel balance. This is a pretty neat trick. Is it real hard?
No, most people can do it.
Well, let's go through it step by step in slow motion, okay?
Well, first you start off on your front and back peg, and then you swing real quick and grab the seat, and then you regain your balance by your feet right there, and then you sit down on the grip and put your foot right there, and you can do whatever you want, but I took my hands off.
Oh, okay. Putting a little flash in there. That's pretty styling. I see here that you're regaining your balance.
Yeah. Well, now I get out of it by grabbing the grip and regaining my balance and swing to the pedals and ride away.
All right, looking pretty good, my man. Let's go through it in slow motion one more time and make sure I understand this. I see how you're on both pegs and slide on over to that front wheel. You're regaining your balance by moving your feet on that tire.
Yeah.
Okay, now once you got that, you scissor that handlebars between your legs and regain your balance. I saw that you put your foot up. Does everybody have to do that?
No, I just do it because it's a lot easier.
Oh, it's a lot easier to put your foot up there. Okay, well, you run through it backwards, back on the pedals, and riding away. Okay, now let's see it again in hurricane speed. Right here, up to the front wheel. We might want to mention that you don't have to let go of your hands, huh?
Yeah.
Most everybody else would just want to keep them locked to the seat.
Right.
Radical, my man. Here's Todd Evans with yet another combination move. It's called a bar hop switch dance.
This is a super fun trick, Scott. This is something that the kids can really get into and probably learn in a couple of days.
Okay, well, balance is a must. What about upper body strength?
Upper body strength isn't that important, just a lot of balance. Right here, you'll jump up and over the bars and just keep your balance and get set up to jump down to your pegs.
How fast are you moving?
Very, very slow. Right here, you'll see me hop down to the pegs and start hopping again to regain my balance. You'll see me on both brakes right now, getting set up to jump back over the bars.
Both legs over?
Just one. One leg goes back right by your seat post. The other one stays on your front tire. You twist around in one solid motion, your right leg hits the pedal, and you ride away. You'll see me there. See my right foot slides right down onto the pedal, right away, and you lift your leg back over.
All right. Now let me make sure I got this clear. In one smooth motion, you bring your body up and over those handlebars, remembering not to keep too much speed up. Once you start to slow down, you bear down on those brakes and get them locked. Once you're dropped down to those pegs, you start hopping to regain your balance. How do you know when it's a good time to get that leg over?
As soon as you're sure and confident you got all your balance together, then you'll spin it around. Your right foot hits the pedal and you ride away.
All right, yet another styling combination move. Let's see it again in regular motion. There you go, up and over the bars.
Grab the front brakes, start hopping and get my balance, switch back around. Right leg hits the pedal and I'm off again. Smooth trick.
Here comes the switch dance, huh, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, is that real hard?
Well, it does take a little practice.
Okay, well let's go through slow-mo.
Well, first you start off on the frame, and then you twist real hard, and you start the hop. And
Those hops to keep your balance, huh?
yeah, and then you jump over and start hopping again to regain your balance. And to come out of it, you can swing right out.
All right, back on the pedals and riding away. Now let me make sure I got this clear. Right here, while you're still rolling, you grab the front brakes and spin on around 180 degrees. You're hopping to keep your balance. Back over to the forks, still hopping to keep your balance, onto the frame, back to the pedals, and riding away. All right, once more in hurricane speed. I kind of like this one. Well, you're all over that bike.
That's me.
Here's Todd with a real crowd pleaser. It's called a 360 cherry picker.
This is a super fun trick. I dedicate this one to my mom. This is her favorite.
She's not the only one pleased with this trick. Run us through it.
Okay, I got my right foot on the left side of the bike. There, I'm going to bear down on the brake, stop the bike, swing it around, throw my leg over, and start hopping and catch my balance once again. There you see my foot placement on the frame and the tire, my hand placements on the front tire, and now you're free to move around like you wish.
All right, you can really show off.
It's a fun trick.
How do you get out of it?
You grab the front tire and the handlebar. It's just the same way as going up, but opposite. Right there, you'll swing back around, foot hits the pedal, and you're off.
All right, let's go through it one more time. All right, I can see here how you slow down, and you're going to be using this leg to get momentum enough to bring the bike up and over 360 degrees, and you're locked into it. Tell me about your foot placement.
Okay, right there I'm standing on the rear wheel and the seat tube of the bicycle. And then I lock my legs onto the head tube. That way I can take my hands off and do what I want to with my hands. And then I grab the bars, spin out of it, and ride away.
All right, you talk about a freestyling, showing off trick supreme. Check it out. Man, that looks styling.
A lot of hopping and bouncing.
Man, definitely an upper level trick.